wanna double up, we'll get you home and double up, double up, double up, double up. What is going on, everybody? I hope you're having a fantastically beautiful Saturday. It is 1:22 p.m. here in Durham, North Carolina. What is going on, my beautiful peoples? I'm working on my YouTube right now, y'all. So y'all gotta bear with me. Bear with me. I'm working on my YouTubes. Yvonne, what's going on? How you doing? Because right now I'm working on the. I'm finished. I finished the YouTube. I'm just uploading them right now. I'm just getting them set up to upload later. Boom, boom, boom. Maria, hey, Maria T. What's going on, y'all? Be having a fantastic day today. Working in New Orleans. Word out from VA. VA, what's going on? I'm in North Carolina. I'll probably be in VA sometime either this week or next week. A Narcissist explains. Jealous narcissist. Boom. Lee Hammock. Boom. And double up. There you go. Congrats on 1 mil. Appreciate that, Brittany. Jesse Grace. Thanks for all you do, K Grace. What's going on? Yeah. How have you ever been? No, I'm about to start traveling here pretty soon, y'all. I need to see the world. I'm really about to see the world. You'll travel. I'm about to. So my next goal. So look, y'all. I had a laundromat. And I bought an investment house with my partner very, very recently. So I've sold the laundromat yesterday. The investment property is under contract. So those are two big things that are cleared off my plate. I'm back to just doing real estate full time and then doing these 101s and YouTube and stuff like that as well. So I'm getting everything in order. So I'm about Qatar. What's going on? Toronto, Canada. I'm about to start traveling in the world. I'm thinking about having a meetup in North Carolina. Think about having like a meetup. I'm gonna put it on TikTok and whatnot. We're probably gonna have like a meetup here pretty soon, like somewhere close by. My no crash shirt pit has been reshared by a bigger artist, and he's watching 90. Oh, man. Will you read your message request, please? So I gotta set a time. I might read them later on tonight when I'm laying down. Have a meetup at my shop. Where's your shop at? RC More Vintage. Where's your shop at? The funny thing about that is, I'm like 17% Irish. I just did my little DNA results. It's 17% Irish, so you might be my cousin. Hey, cuz. Hey, cousin. My ex-narcissist is from North Carolina. Cool. I'm literally about to start traveling the world. Narc is about to piss off, move all that stuff out. Oh, woo. There you go. Do psychedelics work on narcissists? Possibly. Is it possible for a narcissist to have depression and anxiety? Yes, I would say yes. I mean, all this stuff is definitely possible for a narcissistic person, y'all. They might be doing some crazy, terrible stuff to you, but they're still. These are going to be longer than 60 for your successes and successes. There you go. Boom. I'm getting very, very quick at this, what you call it? What company did you use to check your DNA? What you call it? I did a 23andMe, and I also did the Ancestry DNA. Yeah, 23andMe and Ancestry DNA. Do you have your story anywhere about how you got diagnosed? It's probably on my YouTube. But yeah, I've been in therapy for 4 years. Hi from the UK. Thank you, Lee, for all your videos. Appreciate you. No contacts until August 14th. There you go. NPD has traits of ADHD. Yeah, some of it. I travel to North Carolina all the time. Ashley, the class, what's up? Mila. How do you know your ex is a narcissist without diagnosis? Read the traits off, and I feel like that'll help you out right there. Just by reading off the traits and comparing them to what you go through in your life. Do y'all really want to be on this live with me, or y'all just sending these requests by accident? Who is it? Sandy, Sandy Sanson. Do you really want to be in this live? Or Zapata? Do you really want to be on this live with me? If y'all see me request, I mean, you see me request to be on the live, I'll do the live with you. I'm not gonna like, I'm not scary. Yeah, I'm not scary at all, y'all. I literally just finished listening to your podcast. Juno Zan, what's up? How y'all doing? Appreciate you listening to the podcast. Can EPD be cured? I don't think so. No. Staying single, take your time. I would say I want to remind staying single. I would say take your time. What's going on? Hey, how you doing? Can you hear me?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't realize that I was live on here with you.
I said you want to be live. You said yeah. So hit the button.
Well, actually, I've been sick. I've been in the hospital, so just excuse my appearance-wise, because I'm hooked up to a IV pole, as you can see.
Oh, hopefully everything's going well for you. Then I know that's tough. Being hooked up.
I'm getting better. I got a question, because you were talking about love bomb and devalue and all of that, those stages. When a narcissist is in those stages, how come he can just shut them down and not continue them with the one person?
I would like to say mainly because like it's a defense mechanism. So like it really just depends. Because I remember like being with my wife. Not even my wife. This is just sorry. These are just the patterns of my life. Like I remember like my son's mom like love bombing her and being in a relationship with her, giving her all the love and care and just caring. Like literally, I thought she was the one. I felt like she was the one. And then literally just one day, I promise you, it's just like this. Like the lights went out. I don't know why it went out. I can't explain why it went out. I just could not turn it back on. You know what I mean? But I didn't want to necessarily leave her because I still had that thought in my mind that she could still be the one. And I just couldn't like, my heart and my mind were in opposition because my heart was like, okay, I still care about this person. But my mind, the narcissist part kicked in and I was just being a terrible person. You know what I mean? That's how I go. So when the switch goes off, it's it's almost impossible to get it to turn back on. It'll turn back on. Like if you want to leave, if you're like, oh, okay, I'm leaving you because you don't treat me right, that switch will turn back on quick. And they're like, okay, but I love you. Look, I know I love you, and things are going. Things might suck right now, but they'll get better. Just give me time. It's always give me time. There's no set definitive amount of time. It's always just give me time. You know what I mean? Because if you give me a time limit, like okay, you got 1 month. I'm gonna argue against that because I don't know how long it's gonna take me to do what I need to do. So
is that I'm sorry. That because you want to keep control and you don't want anybody, the other person, to implement their control?
Yeah, because if you discard me, then that's mean you are in control of the situation. But so if I get you to come back, if you let me come back, that means I'm in control of it now. Because you let me come back, that means you're okay with everything that had happened to you previously. So now I'm in control of the dynamic. And then because you took me back, you can't bring up any of the stuff that happened before because you took me back under the pretense that I was going to, all that stuff was forgiven. Now I'm gonna, he or she might say it to you like, why'd you take me back then if you're not going to completely forgive me and keep bringing it up? It doesn't seem like a win-win situation. It just seems like you're trying to take advantage of me now and hold this stuff against me and hurt my feelings every time something happens. You bring this up right here, so that'll happen a lot right there too in that situation.
Okay, what makes a person okay after all the like in my case I discarded the narcissist? What stops that trauma bond? And I did the discarding because of my situation going in the hospital. I decided to stay at my house versus his house. So he automatically stopped talking to me. And so
Yeah.
I mean, it's been 3 weeks and I hadn't heard nothing, and I don't do chasing.
Yeah.
So he did finally get in contact with me. I was like, well, is this a punishment just because I didn't stay at your house? I felt like it was. And so then I finally just discarded it. I said, well, I'm not going to be treated like this. This is the end of it. So now how do I stop this? Well, I blocked them everywhere, Facebook and phone and all of that kind of stuff. But how do I stop that urge of still like, because this was a person I've been with over a year, and so how do I stop those urgencies, that trauma bond? How does that I just chop the head of that off?
Yeah, I mean, so you can't just chop the head of it off. I feel like you can't chop it off. You got to kind of, it's like a saw. It's not like a knife. It's a saw. You got to saw it off, and it takes time. You know what I mean? It takes time because you have to process what happened. You have to accept what happened. You have to understand what happened as well. And writing it down. I don't know if you journal or write this type of stuff down. You need to write it down. What happened? Why you are in this situation right now? You know what I mean? And
Well,
then you all right, because writing it down is better than talking about it. Because when you write it down, it makes it real. Writing it down makes it real. Writing down makes it true. That's why people write books. You know what I mean? You write this stuff down, you get it out of your system. Because if you internalize it and you hold on to it for so long, it actually starts to poison you. So writing that stuff down shows you who they really were. Who shows you who they really are. And that way, if they try to come back, you can reread why you got rid of them. Like, this person treated me like this. This person did this to me. You know. And another thing you can do also is, just like doing what you're doing now. Just get around people who are going through similar experiences as you know, because they can share their stories as well. People like in the comment section, they might go through some very, very similar situations and dynamics that you're going through as well, and can help guide you. Hey, this is what I did right here to break the trauma bond. Hey, this is what happened to me. Hey, your story sounds like mine. Let me talk to you. People. There've been some budding friendships in my comment section. I promise you. and people become friends. Like, hey, girl, just message me. They just become
yeah.
friends like that. You know, and
Well,
like I said, it helps in getting around people to just have similar experiences. Help. You know what I mean? It's like a party.
yeah,
You know,
because
so
you can't just share this with anybody. It has to be somebody that has gone through this too. This family, you try to explain this to a family member, and they're like, I don't know. Why you just cut people off like that? They don't understand.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So people don't understand it, and then it makes you seem like makes you kind of start judging your own decisions and things like that. So yeah, you have to talk to people with similar mindsets and have been through similar experiences as you, or a therapist. You know what I mean? Because you're bonded through that. You're bonded to that person. It's just day by day. And one other thing I can tell you: don't put a time limit on your healing, because that'll drive you crazy. Because I see some people say out here, there's like, it should only take you 3 weeks to heal from narcissistic abuse or something like that. I've seen some wild stuff. If you put a time limit on your healing, you'll be frustrated when you don't hit that deadline. Like,
Yeah.
you say 30 days to heal. You hit day 30, you're like, I'm not healed. And you start to question yourself. You'll say, like, maybe I was wrong. Maybe because I'm not healed in 30 days, maybe that's who I'm supposed to be with. And then you get sucked back into you get sucked back into the cycle, and you start over again. You know.
It's
So don't
like
put,
grief.
no, I'm sorry, what you say?
It's like a grieving period. You can't put a time on, the loss of someone. It's like grieving.
It literally is like grieving, because like it is a weird type of grieving, because that person you knew and loved and cared about is actually still alive. It's like you have to have a mental funeral for that person. That person is still alive. That vessel is still here, but that person you knew is gone. That person has passed away in of a sense. You know what I mean? So you have to have a mental funeral, and that's what writing does. Writing it down does. It's kind of like you burying them, burying that person that you knew. That vessel is still here. That vessel might come knock on your door. That vessel might call you and blow your phone up, or show up to church or something like that. That
Yeah.
vessel, you know, might reach out to your family members, but that person is gone. I mean, that's how you have to put it down right there. So
Yeah.
it's exactly, it is grieving. So you are grieving the loss of something. It's a loss. It really is a loss.
You mentioned that this you felt like this started about from a trauma that you experienced when you was younger. Did this and becoming narcissistic, did this make you to do? And I really never heard you talk about going from woman to woman to woman, but this person that I was involved in did a lot of cheating. Is it that they now, because maybe, and I don't really know his history, is it now that if it's a woman that has done something to him traumatically, is it that they're hating women and this is why they're doing this?
Some people hate women, but some of them they just everybody's experience is different. So when they are jumping from woman to woman after you, they are they're trying to get over you. They're trying to replace you in their mind. You know what I mean? So I've done this type of stuff before. I've seen somebody put like I smirked when you said that because I took it to an old memory. Yeah, I got my heart broke before I went on I had my little hot boy summer and whole phase and stuff like that. But it didn't it didn't cure anything. You know what I mean? It was just literally just going out here just wilding out, being crazy and doing stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
It just took me back to a memory, took me back down memory lane a little bit when you when you said that. But yeah, it has less to do with you and more to do with them when they're doing that. When they're trying to replace you with different women, like multiple women. It's like and so it helps right there. Like I said, they could hate women, you know what I mean? But man, I was raised by pretty much all women, so I still did it, so I don't hate women. You know what I mean?
Okay. I thought maybe that might have been something that triggered.
Like with him, possibly. I mean, I just don't know his story. He might have shared that with you to get you to feel
No,
sorry. I mean,
I couldn't get nothing out of him. A conversation, it was all on surface. It was never anything deeper. And I was like, I'm really getting tired of this because I've never had a relationship where I couldn't really have a deep conversation with a person. And he's 72, I'm 62. And I'm like, God, I've never met anybody like this in my life. So
it's,
the silent treatments and everything, I had them all the time.
yeah, said it too. Still playing games. You see that?
Yeah, 72. That's right. That's correct. I never expected it at that age. That's why I thought I was pretty safe. So I
Yeah.
brought my guards down because of the age. Shame on me.
Mm-hmm. But yeah.
Big
I mean,
learning.
for you, it's a learning experience. Man, everybody go through different
Yeah.
experiences and things.
But it has built me up. It has helped me. I don't regret. I don't regret the experience that I went through because I learned a lot about myself. I definitely will keep closer borders and not have no standards. I had standards, but man, it just seems like I dropped them down to the floor. So this was great. It was a great experience for me. I didn't get killed. There was no physical, thank
Yeah.
God, because I think I knew where the edge was when he got mad, and he never showed me blowing up of a
Yeah.
rage inside, but I can feel it within myself. I was
Yeah.
like, uh-oh, let me just be quiet.
Yeah. Yeah. See, it's like you don't have to live your life like that though. So you got out right now. I was like just
Yeah,
stay out. You say you drop the standards is on the floor. You got to pick it up. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Bar up. Yeah, pick the bar, but it's like a dumbbell. You got to pick it up and curl it. You know what I mean? Flex it so you can
right.
lift it high.
Lift it higher. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah. Do some curls with it. You'll be fine. You know what I'm saying? It just takes time. I say that's day by day. You just gotta take it day by day. You know what I mean? Every day is gonna be different. You might wake up tomorrow and be like, I feel great without this person. Then the next day you be like,
Right.
hard to get up. But you set it up there. You'll be fine. Like I said, you'll be fine. You got a good heart. You'll be fine. You'll be
I
perfect.
appreciate your help. I appreciate you doing this because I've listened to a lot of um, live coaches and life coaches and people that talk about narcissistic abuse. But when I don't know how I found you, all of a sudden, I think I was just flipping through and you happened to pop up, and I was like, oh, wow. Somebody that is actually in the shoes of narcissists. So I appreciate you coming out saying that you had this disorder that you are not or you were diagnosed with it, but you are in therapy. So, I mean, I appreciate you coming out saying that because it's not a scare to me. I was like, well, this person could be of a lot of help.
Well, I appreciate that. Some people do take it as a scare. I'm like, that man. Somebody commented on myself last night. Somebody gonna pray for me. I was Satan. I like okay. You just say your prayers. I don't need them. Like,
Wow. Some people are just kind of cold and heartless.
yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's funny sometimes. It does get on my nerves sometimes, but it kind of comes with the territory.
Yeah, yeah. That's something that you couldn't change.
Hmm.
If
Yep.
you could change those things back then, I'm quite sure you would have. And then you said you've been in this 4 years. It'll be 4 years in October.
Uh-huh.
You
Yep.
you stepped out and done some things where most people won't even acknowledge that they even halfway have these traits.
Oh yeah.
So it's commendable what you're doing. A lot of other people, they're getting paid for being on the air, which I'm quite sure you can share way more than, even though they've experienced, but I'm quite sure you can probably share way more than those that have been on the other side of the fence, because you're actually walking in the shoes.
Yeah, I mean that's my goal though. I just want to share it with as many people as possible because I mean that's always going to be the goal. Because like even I get it from all sides. So even like this morning, I got tagged in a post on one of the other self-aware narcissist groups I'm in. Somebody tagged me in a post and said I was anti-narcissist today. They're like, "You just doing too much for too much for the survivors and not enough for the narcissists." I'm like,
Wow.
now I gotta deal with this. Like,
So you got to fight. You got to know what battles to fight.
yeah,
Pick your battles.
today, I'm like, great. I ain't had my coffee today. I wake up to this. It's all good though. It is. Everything works out the way it's supposed to work out. That's truly what I believe. You know.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you taking this time. I didn't expect to be on live with you, but I sure appreciate you taking this time and answering these questions.
I don't have no problem talking to nobody on here. You know what I mean? I be chatting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know how it worked. I am not even technology savvy. I'll look on Instagram. My son and my daughter-in-law have a little Instagram page, and I'll comment and get off.
Yeah.
Facebook, I don't really care for.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm like, that's not really my thing. I think you post stuff that you really shouldn't, and you're taking out some inward stuff and posting it out there. I'm like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. People do that sometimes. Yeah. It get caught up in that grind. So I was just there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So YouTube is more knowledgeable because I'm getting something out of it that's going to help me. And then
Mhm.
when I seen that you do TikTok things, and I'm like, wow, I wish I can kind of put this on these little short versions and put them on my creator story in Facebook, because somebody would really get a hold of that really quick. But there's no way I could share it from Instagram to Facebook. So,
Yeah. TikTok has them though. If you get them, so all my videos start from TikTok and they go to Instagram and then YouTube. So I started on TikTok first, but I have a million people that follow me on TikTok. So when I go live on TikTok, it's kind of like the comment section like it just goes crazy. So I can't read everything.
okay. And see,
Yeah,
I never got on TikTok. Is that just
it's just
a
video. It's just like Instagram, but it's just all videos. There's no pictures and stuff. But there's not like not in that aspect of things. It's mostly just videos.
okay? I do have another question because I seen your
Oh,
daughter, seen your baby girl,
yeah,
and you have a son.
I have two sons.
You have two sons.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, I was told that narcissists came from the front lobal not being fully developed. Does that get passed down? And I don't know how true that is, but if it is true, does that get passed down 2 generations? Like
See,
your sons have it, or would your daughter have those traits?
so in that situation right there, I want to say, so you're asking is it hereditary?
Well, yeah, I guess
Yeah,
that would be
I
for
don't
it.
I don't say I say I don't think it's hereditary, but I also think it can be passed down. But I don't think it's hereditary because it's not something like it's gonna be in your bloodstream or anything like that. But
Right.
me being a narcissist, if I don't alter my behaviors, I can create my kid.
Right.
So I can pass it down, but it's not hereditary to me. You mean? So it's hereditary in the sense, but not through bloodlines or DNA or something like that. I feel like it's more along the lines of if I don't alter my behavior, I'll
Right,
pass it pretty much the same way. They'll get it regardless. They don't have to get it through the bloodstream. They can get it through just the treatment. They'll
right.
become
Teaching by a learning experience.
yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. They learn
Well,
from what we. I mean, that's life right there.
yeah. So now, well, that answers my question. It's not um, a front lobal, like a part of your brain has missed something, um, is missing a piece. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't think I say I'm smart. I'm educated in things of that nature. But like, um, emotional development, there's something called arrest. My therapist said a lot of narcissistic people go through arrested development. You know what I mean? It's just like, well, we miss a stage of like emotional development because we have to grow up too fast. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm 8 years old, my mom has to work second shift, but I have a 1-year-old brother that I have to watch. So now I'm a big brother and I'm a parent. You know what I mean? At the same time, so I can't parent him. I'm not having fun, so I have to parent and things like that. So the arrested development thing kind of kicks in. I don't know how that attaches to the front lobal thing you were speaking of, but it could be something similar to that. No.
That's really strange because years ago, that's mainly what kids did. Take
Mm-hmm.
care of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. See, it got passed down. Like, say, like me in my own situation, that's kind of what happened to me. I was watching my little brothers, at hey, let's say, could you fault your parent? My mom had to work second shift to take care of her kids. So
But
that's
it affected you differently in a different way.
yeah,
It probably upset you because it took away your childhood.
yeah, some bits and pieces. You know what I mean? There's some stuff I had to work through in therapy and things of that nature. You know what I mean? But where I'm at right now, I'm in a better place right now. You know what I mean? Because, like I say, I'm learning. I'm learning as I go along as well. You mean?
Right.
Because like, I say this in my videos, like as much as I learn, as much as people learn from me, I learn even more from y'all. Because you ask a question like that, it makes you think. I'm like, huh? Now I get to delve deep into my mind and come up with new stuff, new material. You give me new material.
Good. So now, of course, since you've been into this therapy for almost 4 years now, your relationship has grown a lot closer with your wife and your family. Because most
Yeah.
people, I mean, you brought up, like you were saying, raising your younger sibling. Um, so now your own children, um, they're not ones to like, oh God, I don't want to even babysit my own kids. You're not at that place. So you have
Uh,
gotten attached.
yeah. So yeah, I kind of used to be that way before I went to therapy because I felt like they was taking up too much of my time when I was trying to do other stuff. Like I was trying to be successful for my family and myself and stuff like that. So I feel like doing a lot of that stuff, you know, parenting would take too much time. So I did used to. I would immediately say I used to do that. So back in the day, I did used to do that. Like I got stuff going on today, maybe tomorrow. You mean I back in the day, 10 years ago? Yeah, I would do that 100%.
Okay. Wow. This has been a very good session.
Well, I appreciate it. Like I said, I like good questions. Like I like questions that make me think. You know what I mean?
So I will take your advice on journaling. I had watched somebody else on YouTube and they talked about journaling, and I'm like, oh yeah, I do need to do that so I can get what is built up inside of me out
hmm
on that paper. So whatever comes to this mind is out, and I don't have to use people as my outlet
Yep. I
because
mean, it helped you
it
out
does.
a lot.
Yeah, it doesn't work good that way.
Yeah, it doesn't. Like I said, holding it in, you'll start to get physical symptoms as well. So letting it out helps. Yeah.
Okay.
And that way you can read that journal. You're like, why am I not with this person again? You scroll, you flip back to page 6. It's like, oh, okay. You shut it.
Yeah.
You're like, don't call me no more. You know what I mean?
I, you
Yeah.
know, I, I have a small dog that I left um, at this ex's house, and I didn't want to keep my dog here because I have carpet here. My other house that I lived in, I had hardwood floors.
Mm.
So I got carpet here, and I was like, I would put a diaper on her, because
Yeah.
I let her out, and she'd come right inside and do her business right there. I'm like, oh, I'm putting a pamper on you. Well,
Yeah.
stays there at his house now, and since I have done this discard, now I'm thinking he knows I'm probably going to want that dog back.
Yeah.
But so he's going to use that as a tool, maybe to try to hoover back. And I'm almost to the place, because this dog is old. She's about 15 years old. She's a little Dotson Yorkie mixed,
Yeah.
and she's kind of going blind. But I think he's going to try to use that as a tool to try to hoover back when this new supply he gets tired of.
Yeah. He definitely might do that. So be on the lookout. You
Yeah,
mean it might send you some. What I would do, I would just send you some pictures of the dog. You know what I mean? Or they say that to, I just see you a couple pictures of the dog. Or a video of the dog barking or something like that. You know, just something to mess with your mind, make you reach out to me.
yeah. Well, that's not going to work, because by then I hope, do my journaling, I am more in a place where my standards are higher. My
Mm-hmm.
boundaries are more closed in, especially towards him. But the manipulation, I think I never expected that part to really be manipulated like that.
Yeah.
And the lying, every time there was a lie, my little instinct would say, that's a lie. But I never had the proof, only my gut instinct saying, that's a lie that he just now told.
Yeah.
I could prove, but it was just I going by my instincts. So by then I was really listening to my instincts then. The cheating, I mean, all the time, on his phone, on his phone, on his phone. The minute he'd get to my house, I'd be in the kitchen cooking, maybe cooking dinner for us, and he'd come straight in the living room, and that was it. Be on his phone. I'm like, you can come in here. Nah, I'm all right. I'm good in here, because that's a playground. That phone and this social media is a big playground.
Mm-hmm. Well, sound like he's a what do you call it, a Rolling Stone, ain't it? Goodness gracious.
Yeah, Papa wasn't rolling stone.
It just roll.
Yeah, he's just rolling. He's just trying to get in all his that, since he's already at this high age. He's just trying to get all in that he could get in.
Hey, my
Karma
goodness.
will catch him. Karma will catch him. I've never done bad to him. Really done a
Mm-hmm.
lot for him and tried to really help him out. Whereas I think his own family kind of cut him off. And then when I came around, then the family started coming around. But I was like, man, this is really strange. Every day his sister's over here. Now since I'm here, when I left one time before and he hoovered me back, then I was like, where's your sister at? She doesn't come around anymore.
Yeah.
So evidently they really wasn't coming around before I, was in his little world. And then all of a sudden I'm in his little world. And I think they wanted to see how he was treating me. He was married for 40 years. I
Oh
was
man.
like, 40 years? That seemed like an ancient time.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
and then reading some stuff that his ex-wife, and I don't go through their phones. If I have to do that, there's no need me having relationships to go through phones.
You gotta go through a 72-year-old man's phone. You gotta
No.
pack it. He really he hide his phone at 72. I don't know.
I asked him, I said, well, why do you turn your phone down? That right there was another red flag for me, because I've seen a lot of the red flags and I kind of ignored them, I guess, because I didn't want to be lonely and I
Yeah.
was getting out of a divorce. He said, well, I just always do that. I was like, well, there's only nobody in here but me and you. So why do you turn it down? So then he went and got a new phone that he was able to put this phone in a type of wallet case. So that phone case held all his debit cards and credit cards and stuff like that. So that was just an excuse to hide the phone. So I was like, ah, he wanted me. He had an Android. I used to iPhone. He wanted
Yeah.
me to get an Android, and I said no, I don't like the way Androids work. So that you'll know how to operate my phone. No, I don't think so. I'm keeping I'm keeping the iPhone because and not that I had anything on my phone or did anything with my phone,
Yeah.
but I just didn't want him getting in it. If he wanted to see something in my phone, I can show him. I'd give him full access, but he never gave me access to his phone at all. So
Yeah.
I just left it as that.
Yeah, probably a reason, just a reason why. I mean, like, I just get like, man, it's wild.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was a roller coaster ride that I will never forget.
I bet it's gracious. That's wild.
Yeah,
72.
72. Yeah, yeah. Never really. I never expected it. He lied to me when I first met him. Um, we met on a website, and then I met him here in town. And then I was 60. Yeah, I was 60 then. He told me he was 69. And I'm like, and then I come to find out when his birthday came up that he was turning 71.
Wow. Hey, you lied about it too?
He lied about his age. Uh, so
No.
things
That
that
man,
he did not need to lie about, he just flat out, he was a pathetic liar. That's what I call habitual liar. He just had to
yeah.
because he wanted to lie.
Yeah, exactly. He was just lying to lie. There was just no need, no nothing. They were just lying to be lying. They're like, I'm 60. He told you 69.
Yeah. He
Yeah,
just,
so
I guess if you're in the 60s, and he probably felt like he was safe. But if he
yeah.
was 70s, I probably would have said, nah, you're a little too old. And I think if he felt that, that would have been right.
Yeah. That's
But
the reason. But sometimes people like that, they don't need a reason to lie. They can be lying. Just be lying to be lying. Just to control the narrative. You mean you find out like I ain't tell you. Yeah. What did he say when you found out?
well, when I was really shocked, I said, I thought you told me that you were 69. He said, no, I never said I was 69. I
Yeah.
said, it says right there on your profile. Oh God. He said, let me tell you this. If you delete your profile, I'll delete mine. I was like, well, that doesn't really answer the problem. That's not even taking care of it. How old are you? He said, I was born in 49, 1949. So he was
Uh,
10 years older than me. He was
yeah.
in his 70s when I met him. He was 70.
Off the rip. Just lying on his online profile. God,
Yeah,
boy.
yeah,
So
yeah.
the game never runs out, then does it?
Now, the thing he told the truth about that he was a fireman, but that
Uh,
was it. That's the only thing I know that he told the truth about.
Lord
So
have mercy.
really lived that ideal life, fireman. He has a Dalmatian dog. So he really was in a fantasy world.
Yeah, good gracious.
I believe he knows something's wrong with him. I do believe that because he does live in this little fantasy world, and he still thinks that he's like an invincible type person. I'm like, he still works. He works his little part-time job, stocking shelves in his grocery store just because he got to be around people. And I
Yeah.
couldn't understand that. I said, you have to be around people. We used to watch this show called, oh God, what was it called? I can't even remember it. I think Alive, something like that. These people will go out in Alaska, stay out there for last one alive, gets $10,000.
Mhm.
And we watched that. I said, see, you could never do that. I said, now I'm a loner. I can be around people or not be around people. I'm good. I said, but you have got to constantly be around people. What is
Yeah.
that with you? So he always wanted me there, never wanted me to do anything on my own up into a certain extent. And then I was like, you know what I'm going to do? Because I would stay so much at his house, and I wanted to get back to my own house. I bought a fish just so I could say, I got to go home and feed my fish. It's the craziest thing. I was like, I am so tired of being stuck up in this house with you.
Yeah, precious.
He had to have people around him like that. It's like
Yeah,
abandonment issues. He had them bad. So
that's just wild. It's like it. It surprised me, but that's I think this is the oldest person I think I've heard about it right now though. So far, like this, by far the oldest person I've heard still doing that type of stuff. Yeah, well, never mind. I talked to a woman earlier. I had a one-on-one earlier with a woman. She said her mom is 91 years old and she's a narcissist. But the oldest that's actively still out here trying to manipulate women and stuff like that. Did you be
yeah,
lying?
he still
Hide this phone? Like, what are you like? Oh my goodness.
yeah,
The game.
he would hide. I would hear his phone go off. I said, somebody just sent you a message on Messenger. He said, oh, that's probably my cousin. She always sending a bunch of religious stuff. I said, I don't believe it. I said, so were you just going to ignore it? He said, yeah, because it's just my cousin sending me a bunch of religious stuff. There was other women that he was talking to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
That is wild right there. Get this right. I'm like that. I'm pleasantly shocked. I'm like, 72. You out here still playing them games?
yep. Yep.
Goodness gracious.
Probably because, he's been divorced for 4 years. And so probably he feels like he's got a lot to catch up. I don't know.
Mm.
So, yeah, he's gonna catch up. He'll probably get STD along the way.
Hey, and go ahead and get chlamydia or something like that at 72. Then Jesus mercy, like Lord have mercy on his soul. Like you out here burnt. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he has. He kind of was embarrassed to tell me this, but this is working in his favor at his age. He has implant, a penile implant. So you can pump it up and you can pump it down. So 72. The only thing that's going to dysfunction with that is overusage. I'm telling you the truth. Overusage and the pump goes out. Then he probably could get another pump in.
So it's like
Probably.
a bicycle pump. Like you just like kind of step on it to pump it up like a pedal.
You're right. That's exactly right. So instead of using your foot, you use your hands. 72. I couldn't believe that. I was like, he had prostate cancer.
Mm.
And I guess he did not want his days to be done with.
Yeah.
He was then had prostate cancer, and so decided to get this contraption.
Wow. I did not know that it existed.
Yeah,
So
either. I couldn't believe it. At that age, I thought I was going to be okay.
new to me. Like, wait. Oh, what?
Yeah, I've never heard of that in my life. I said, well, you are going to be the first. I said, that'll probably outlast you. So it probably will. Yeah, but I don't know what happens when he said he knew a man that wore his pump out. He was a lot older than him. But I don't know what happens when the person does get a STD or venereal disease. Does it? I don't know. I don't know much about those things.
Jesus, that's rough right there. That's a wild experience. I'm glad you made that.
Yeah,
Good.
that's why. So he thinks because he is like that he can get any age woman.
Yeah, that's what he's thinking. It's just like I can imagine going on to getting ready to go home from a date, just pumping it up. It's like, what's that sound? Like, just pumping it up. Like,
Yeah, It's probably better than, I don't know, some of these other drugs that you take, because they have problems with
Yeah,
some of these drugs. But no, this, unless there be end up being a mechanical dysfunction of it, I don't
yeah.
know.
Goodness, right?
Um,
That.
that would
Goodness,
be his,
yeah.
that is karma if that ever happened.
If
Really.
his pump go out, yeah. If his pump go out, there'll definitely be his karma right there. Goodness gracious,
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Yeah. That would be the best thing for him, because maybe something happened. It was a while back, and I think it was a friend of mine. Her husband had, but he was cheating on her. He had cancer, and I said, karma comes back to everybody. And I said, sometimes it comes back in that form. And I said this to him because I forgot that he had the cancer. He just turned around and walked out of the room. I think he got upset, knowing that I said that. I wasn't even thinking about him, but I'm quite sure he put himself in that place.
Yeah,
Doing that to, with his wife being married for 40 years, that's a long time to be married to one person and then allow your cheating to destroy 40 years of your life with this one person.
yeah.
She,
40,
she caught
40.
she
Eh,
caught up to him, took everything from him. They owned a couple of houses together, according to him. I don't
yeah.
how true that is. She took everything. She left him with an old raggedy work truck. No house. He got no house to stay in.
Where's you live at now?
He's in Hokes Bluff, Alabama.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
With his pump. Dang, what they got the pump? Fill out that part. Like you said, the pump. I was like, oh no, not the pump.
Yep. Yep. That's really, that was strange.
Yeah, that is like I said. You've had it. That's a wild journey for you. You said a year.
Mm-hmm.
Wild story for a year. You just fit that whole for a year.
Yeah. Yep.
Ah,
He used to say things like last year we went to visit his sister. She lives in Foley, Alabama, and it was nice. Her and her husband, they got a little bit of money and went on their boat and came back and had a nice time. Was gone just for that weekend,
uh,
and came around to this summer. Well, before this summer, it was early spring. He said, "No, we're not going back down there." And I'm like, "Well, what happened? How come?" Well, nothing. It's because he had other plans and he
oh,
had other people at that time lined up. So he just comes out of the blue and says, "Well, we won't be going back down there." And I'm thinking, well, what went wrong?
you see
Um,
what we're on. Goodness
oh
gracious, that
yeah,
man. He's the definition of literally a rolling stone, rolling with his penis pump. Yeah,
yeah.
just a. That's a wild ride. I'm very very happy you made it out of there though, because I mean, because he did. For it to sound like that man don't deserve you. You got a good heart.
Hey, I try to treat people the way I want to be treated. That love bombing stage. He gave out and gave out. He normally brought wherever we went, wherever restaurant and stuff that we went to. He did pay. He was a gentleman, opened the door. This is something funny. One Friday night, we're downtown in my town, because I only lived about 10 minutes away from him. This is just a different town. And he's never pulled the chair out for me.
Oh wow.
We're at this chicken place, chicken and wings and seafood place, and he pulls the chair out, and I'm like, "Are you pulling the chair out for me? You never done that before." He pulls the chair out. I said, "So do you want me to sit in the chair, or did you pull the chair out for you?" It was the strangest thing for somebody to do something new in the presence of a filled restaurant. I was like, how weird was that? That was such an awkward feeling. I said, I will never forget that. So he might have seen somebody that he might have had eyes on, and all of it was to reflect back upon himself to show
Mm-hmm.
this is what I do for her. So, and
Yeah.
he has always opened car doors for me and shut car doors. Um, he did present that pretty consistently, but when his brother-in-law seen it, his brother-in-law said, "Oh, you open car doors now?" So evidently he's never done that before.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, he was trying to make some points with me. And in that essence treated me good, but the manipulation was still there. Seen those tactics, the lying, and then the cheating. And then when it got to this part of me going to the hospital, and he basically kind of made me discard him. And you did a video on that where so he basically left me before I discarded him, so made me discard him.
Yeah. And
And then
it does.
go ahead.
I said that does happen right there.
Yeah. So then he unfriended me on Facebook. He didn't block me. He just unfriended me as if to see, so I couldn't see his profile. And like I was telling you, I'm not really a Facebook person, but I just happened to get on that day. I'm sitting up here in this house for the longest and trying to recover from the surgery. Happened to get on Facebook, and I seen that all the whole year that we was in this relationship, he never changed the status of divorce. And then I happened to get on this one particular day, he changed his status to in a relationship. I was like, so he's in a relationship now. Okay, that's to tell me I'm gonna hurt you. I said, I felt that little sting.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm going to block you and see if that doesn't hurt you.
Yeah.
Oh, that hurt. I know that hurt. He rode past my house 2 days later,
Oh my
but
goodness.
touched the grass. A couple of houses down, he cuts the people's grass. He hadn't been over here in a month to cut these people's grass. This particular day, 2 days after I blocked him, he decides to cut the grass. But I wasn't home, so he couldn't
Oh,
see me, couldn't talk to me. So his plan already got messed up again. So
I know he was sick then if he's doing all that type of stuff right there. But you see his mindset. Like, goodness gracious, he drove like I know after a month. I know that grass is about
it was
3 feet.
tall. Yeah, it was pretty tall. And then there's no telling what he was telling the owner. He could have been telling the owner, "Oh yeah, I've just been over there and cut it," because the owner doesn't come over here and check. He just gets in contact with the owner and tells the owner when he has cut it. And he's
Oh,
just that type to tell him, "Yeah, I just cut your grass," as if it was going to be a bi-weekly thing.
oh,
So yeah, he probably was. That owner was paying him probably for cutting the grass when it's never been cut,
oh.
but a couple of days ago.
It's cut now.
Yeah, cut now. Hopefully, this is the last time for this season.
Yeah,
Since it's cool, hopefully
yeah.
that's the last time he has to come down this block.
Mm-hmm. Well, he might over there. He got a weed eat, so be careful when you come over there with the weed eater.
Now he don't even use a weed eater. He's got a rider lawnmower, a nice one. It's not I think it is a zero turn. Um,
Uh-huh.
that's all he does to it.
Oh,
He doesn't even weed eat his own yard. He sprays poison down. He's got a lot of laziness to him. Not that I mean, if that's what you want to do, that's okay.
yeah,
But he does have a lot of laziness to him. Yeah.
yeah. It's funny. I do the same type of stuff. Like, I'm tired of weed eating the same spots. Just hit with the weed killer.
Yeah, just hit it with the weed killer. There you go. Yep.
Yeah, like I said, you got a lot going on. But I said, I'm happy. I am happy you made it out. You made because it's a life. You wouldn't have. You still been in there dance with the narcissist. You don't
There's
need that.
there's no telling what path I would have got led down. Um, There's a wild ride. Live and learn.
It is. It is. I mean, it's definitely a wild ride, but like I said, you got all for the ride, so you good to go.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, goodness
yeah.
gracious.
I win. I win.
Yeah, you would. Yeah, yeah, you would.
Yeah,
You definitely won that one. I would say that. Like, goodness gracious.
yeah,
That's what I mean. So you have a battle to get to that point right there, but like you'll come out on the other end good. It just takes a little bit. It takes a little bit to get there. Like so when you start journaling and get it out of your system and just just talking about it to people who understand where you're coming from, that helps too though.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Because
Yeah,
this is
it'll definitely help you.
not anything you could just talk to anybody about. They've
Oh
got to
no.
know a history of narcissism, and the abuse, or if they were physically abusive, which I wasn't. Yeah, I wasn't tolerating that. I remember the first time that I came over to his house. He was doing a little bit of remodeling in his house on the sun porch, and he was going in and out, and I was trying to help him, and he said in a mean, harsh way, "Move." And I stopped and listened. I said, "Wait a minute. Don't ever talk to me like that." I said, "Because I don't tolerate." I said, "That's not the way you talk to me." And
Yeah.
right then and there, never had any more problems because
Yeah.
I
Check.
record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Check
So
them. Set that bound. You set a boundary early with that right there. So you got to set boundaries and stick to them.
yeah, I wish I would have set more along the way, which I basically I was being quiet. Um, Really, I silenced myself because he would say some things, and I really silenced myself because I felt like it was going to promote an argument, and I
Mm.
don't have the energy for that. So in all of that, I'm like, no, I'm not the arguing type. Them days are over with. Before, whew, I would
Yeah. There you
storm
go.
and you go and fight you. It was wild.
Yeah.
But that there comes a point in time where as you get older, you learn some things. And some things is not that's not the way to handle everything anymore. So
Yeah. Exactly.
I
100%.
was I just shut down and just kept my mouth shut. And even when I got around his family, he would say some things, and I'm like, nope, some things is not worth it. Yep.
It's a lot though. You got out of there in that situation right there. It's just you be stronger for it because like I said, I'm not gonna say he won't come back. 'Cause, like, he might be set in his ways. He might try to like I say you're not used to him weed eating, but he might come over with a leaf blow. When the leaves fall, you might see him over with a leaf blow on his backpack, on his
Well,
back.
well, hope I moved in this house in November, and the houses are close together. And where I used to live, my other house I sold. It's on a different part of town, and I had no neighbors. In the back of me was all wood, so it was very private. I had no neighbors to the left of me. I had a neighbor to the right of me, which wasn't very close, so I was really kind of used to that. And I was like, I don't care if I don't have any neighbors around.
Yeah.
So now all these neighbors here, whew, too close. I'm like, I'm ready to sell this house. I didn't
All right.
I didn't expect my house to sell so fast. It sold within a week. And
Yeah.
then when I moved, I had to move to his house. And I lived with him for 3 months, and I said to my son, I can't do this no more. He said, my son said, "What's going on?" I said, "Nothing physical. I couldn't explain to my son. Not only could I not explain to him, there was just some things that he didn't need to know. He
Mm-hmm.
didn't need to get involved in. And I said, if I could come stay with you until I get me a house, that'd be good. He said, come on. Went and moved with my son, and that kind of set a little fire, to things, to the relationship, if it was even a relationship. But I was like, you really don't want anybody to live with you. You just want somebody to sleep with you, not live with you. You want somebody, yeah, to cook your food, clean your house, and then sleep in your bed. And I'm like, I should have did deuces then and kept it moving.
Yeah. Look, hindsight is always 2020.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always 2020. Very like it should be 2020. Some people they still don't see it. You know what I mean? They look back and still don't see what went wrong, how things have changed, and things of that nature. But it should be 2020 for the most part. Yeah, but yeah, like I say, you'll be fine though. You just got to stand through that. But I do have to run in my house real quick. I done finished my YouTube videos and things like that. But it was
Okay.
such. I'm so glad you came on here. It was a great conversation. I enjoyed it. I can't even talk straight, and I really enjoyed talking to you. It was a good
I
conversation.
enjoyed talking to you too. Thank you so much for inviting me. It was a pleasure.
No problem. Listen, I wish you the best. If you need anything else, you can shoot me a message. I'll follow you back on here. You can message me anytime. I'll respond to you and all the other good stuff. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Be
Okay.
safe. Okay.
Okay. You too. Bye
All right.
bye.
Y'all everybody have a good day.